make videos, so they're decent videos.
Hey. At some point, I need the wheels out of it. So, it was just a test mechanism. Well, I lucked out. All that printed stuff actually solidified overnight, or by the time I was ready to go up last night, the printed stuff was stiff enough. I assembled reassembled the phony truck with another side frame. So, I'll let Mama's knock down the drains. It's interesting though. When you soak it in it, as long as it did, how white it gets, it's more transparent than anything else. I guess I'm not surprised that Jim wasn't going to make it.
I'm not asking, I'm just saying, like, because these are smaller, so these put the truck lower on a 40. This would put it.
Wait, I know, I need
No,
to
those
get
are
set
actually,
up
those are
a
36-inch wheels. They're the same as finer profile. There's still grass underneath, so I would opt. If I were to use those for a phony truck, I would just order some with short line solid silver wheels, because they still actually have those. One of the few wheel sets that are assembled they seem to still have in stock. So it was online fairly recently. They have the 36-inch 72 scale wheel sets with the pointed axles, the micro trains, axle length.
What about to the Grant line?
They'd probably sell you the wheels, insulators, and axles, and you could assemble them yourself, but they don't sell them assembled. You go online, I don't think you'll see them, and even if you do, they're expensive. And they don't offer that service anymore where you can get like 100 of them for a decent discount.
That was a price variation.
They won't do that either. So, well, that's what I say. You know, I every time I have to order something from them, I do it grudgingly. You know, I don't do it. I'm not happy about it. And I'm not happy to give them business because they're just so inflexible with.
PSC, on the other hand, they're there. It's like, they're so cool. Like I talked to the lady and I just make my order, and she's like, there might be a delay of need to make up some more and then you get it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
That's surprising. I mean, I think it's great, but you know,
It's a
this,
$30 minimum order.
yeah, but still,
But that's like,
what's $30?
yeah, that's like makes different parts or
Yeah.
one kind of 10 bags.
Yeah, that's matching it up. It's like, oh, $30 in like okay, so you know, that's the thing I need that I'm going to use a lot of is like $4.50 a bag. $5 is not a lot.
It's awesome to have a variety of choose from. So when I was like changing out the different headlights in the Shay, you know, it was cool to be able to have choices. And you can't do that if you're gonna order just the one you need. You can't do that. You know,
Plus, a lot of times you're going out of control. Picture and no dimensions, you don't know for sure.
I know.
You know, that's one of the nice things. You know, the brand stuff, there's a lot of the windows, but pictures you get from those dimensions. You know, each dimension stuff. So you do have after you went out, had the radio on, back
Yeah. I mean, you could easily build a climax mechanism off this.
yeah, like I said, if that's too tall, that's a 12 millimeter belt. A 9 millimeter belt, I mean a 10
Well,
millimeter belt.
look at this right here. I mean, you can see exactly what you're dealing with. The motor is on the top of the deck,
Yeah.
and it puts it, it's actually a little high than that, I'm on it, right? Yeah, I am. It might be another 4 scale inches too high, you know. But if that's the availability of their worm, like if you can't get this micro worm like they have, I mean, because that's a really small diameter worm to engage. Have you looked at that? How small that little worm is, and that's
That's small and short.
there's no such thing as making anything that small.
It's a 3.1 millimeter diameter, that's the smallest one they have.
Which is the one that's probably
Yeah,
this thing right
PDT,
here.
yeah, that's
This
what I use.
That's what that
Yeah,
is.
that's what that is. That's the smallest worm they make. That's one of the smallest worms you'll find anywhere. There's a company out of Poland or Germany that sells a Delrin worm, 0.2 mod, but it's only marginally smaller than you go for a short line worm. It's like 2.8 millimeters in diameter. So.
Let's say it was in here. Yeah, it would be a challenge to engineer the 18-ton turbines.
Yeah, based on the available parts,
Yeah.
backup parts, yeah.
Like a 22-ton climax would be easy. Now, that's Class B. Class A, this thing right here will work for anything. This will work for Airbus 5, Class A climax, Class A Dunkirk.
Well, like I said, that's a 12 millimeter belt. You see how tall that is?
Yeah.
Look at this one. That's
Here.
right,
And
yeah.
Sugiyama just keeps reinventing this.
Gearbox.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm gonna take a shower. Or put on eBay. Have someone put on eBay for me if I can't figure this out. And you know, that price is gonna be.
Oh, yeah, well, people buy anything, dude. When I sold my, I regret it now, I sold my 23 shell, that and a tender, and
Brian Bass got it.
Brian Bass got it. He did a great job with the conversion. that potato looks 282 underneath it looks perfect. To get a hold of. Now the North Shore or Shoreline is so disagreeable. It sounds, I mean, you could still order that worm stock and the worm gear stock. Just they went from $45 for a 5-inch long gear stick to $65 for a 5-inch long gear stick. And the worm stock, they went from $12 a foot, basically $1 an inch, to $20 or $22 a foot. Which is still not outrageous, because when you cut it down, cut them, and I do the math on it, it's still a reasonable price per gear. I mean, the gear stock at $65 for a stick, I mean, they're charging $9 for a cut and board out gear now. So even still, you know, I'm at three and change a gear buying gear stock at $65 a stick versus $9.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't have to bore your sticks and gears out though, do you?
Yeah, I drill them.
They don't come pre-bored?
No, because they can't bore.
Just a rod of metal?
It's just a rod of metal. Show where the gear stick is. See, I gotta fit in there. Let's see. Let's see. 2.3 mile, 12 tooth 72 DP, 15 tooth 0.3 mile, 10 tooth 0.3 mile, 12 tooth 0.3 mile, more 15 tooth 0.3 mile. This is new from the new owners of North Shoreline, and that's 15 tooth 72 DP.
So the one that I did was a 13 tooth.
Yeah.
Is that this one?
No, there's none. I don't have any 13 tooth. 13 tooth is a custom size. I know there's a lot of the stuff they do, the new owners don't stock. But a 15 tooth, they either stock it still, or you can buy it. Because I bought that about 6 months ago. They call it a double lead, 15 tooth gear, and it's not. It's a single lead. They don't. The freaking wife does not understand the difference between double and single lead. I tried to explain it to her, and she just totally blew me off. I'm like, all right, whatever. You don't have to believe me. I know what it is, and if I have to ever reorder it, I'll reorder it that way.
This is pure Delrin stock.
Pure Delrin stock. It's aged, so that if you bore it out, undersize, which when you want to do press fit Delrin on a shaft, you bore it out 4/1000ths of an inch undersize.
Yeah.
A brass gear, you bore it 500 or 5/10,000ths to 1/1000th of an inch undersize.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
because the Delrin can stretch, but the thing that I screwed up when I did my 3D printed gearboxes that I have problems with is that you're boring it 4/1000ths of an inch undersized, but you have to understand that the gear is going to swell that 4/1000ths of an inch when you press it over a shaft. And I didn't account for that.
Your cast free.
Yeah.
You just have a rod going across, just like the Keystone shade drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like that you have a separate gearbox, so that this motor doesn't get tweaked by the bearing,
Yeah.
the stretch of the belt.
Yeah. Well, there's that, and then if you make a motor mount, isolate the motor mount a little bit better. They use the 916 motor vibration won't affect it.
Yeah.
It won't translate down to the motor mount the rail. So that would be better for it. Those bearings, I get those bearings from Andy Riker of Proto 87 stores. I don't know if you've been to his website. He does all that Proto 87 stuff. He's got. And there's a 1.5 millimeter ID, 4 millimeter OD flanged ball bearings. They're like, I want to say they're $2-3 a piece.
Yeah.
But if I can ever get that guy in China to answer me as far as the sealed ones,
Yeah.
I'll let you know,
Yeah.
because they'll sell. I asked them about selling me 100 of them. So for like $110, they'll sell you 100 of them. And for the sealed, I'd buy 100 of the sealed. I wouldn't buy 100 of the
Yeah.
open.
And that uses their smallest worm and worm gear, right?
Yeah, more or less. It uses the smallest worm. And yeah, so there's commercially available worm gears with a 12-speed, that's the kind of axle. That's the smallest you can get for them. I have some 10s, but the problem with using the 10s with the belt drive is you end up with not a not very high final gear ratio. It's like 30 something final gear, so it's not high, really that high enough for it.
But for gear engine, you know, this thing goes too slow.
Yeah,
You know, but for a Dunkirk with a good speed range,
yeah. Now, what's your motivation for not wanting to use this as a lift? Or you just not
I'm just saying
more
availability.
availability, yeah.
You know, imagine if you wanted to, because, you know, like, I don't know, when you go to town, you know, it's not a road, and it, you know, just tell me,
You know, here's what you do. Tell me what wheelbase you want, and I'll design something to fit that wheelbase. It's still gonna have to be the worm and worm gear on each axle, because you just don't have access to the right kind of gears
yeah,
to do a worm gear, reverse worm gear, reverse worm gear, worm gear.
this is not far from S.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, we're talking about maybe 4 or 5 scale inches off from S.
Now, is that what you want to do something with?
No, but I'm saying, like, what if Barry White wanted to make a Dunkirk, you know, for SN2, or a Climax for SN2, you know, HON3, yeah. I mean, look at that. That's not. What I'm saying is, this is a nice sized power truck for SN2 as well.
Right.
So it could be used in a larger HON30 and a smaller SN2 application. I mean, what is scale inches? It's gotta be maybe just 4 or 5 scale inches too short. But if you look at that other one, the 12 ton, that wheelbase looks a lot smaller. With those disc wheels,
Yeah.
I think that's a cool looking locomotive.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
I don't know, but it has the same proportions between the disc wheels and the wheelbase. This eyeball in here, it's about the same proportion for a smaller one.
Yeah.
For S, you'd need bigger, you know. Well, you would need bigger wheels on the 16 ton, but you might be able to go away with that with the 13 ton or the 12 ton. I don't know. I always like thinking of new, you know, new mechanisms for engines.
HON3 and 30 would be really tough to do on this.
Well, this is HM30, right?
It is in 30.
Yeah. I mean, these are HM30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just got different wheel sets in a different spaces for the outside frame.
Yeah, they have geosymmetric work for that. They have it pinned down in the frame back of the insulated bushing.
Oh, the plastic. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they pinned it down because normally they're pretty thick. They're like 30, 45 shreds.
That's funny. Look at the gears off center. The gears. Well, that one is. Look at that one. That's way off center.
Yeah, that might need to be corrected actually. Yeah, it's assembly.
You know what? It's the gear that axle too. That's the gear. You know what, Jeff? I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if they used the same axle. They're showing 30.
Yeah.
Because look at how much shoulder is sticking out
Yeah.
on the non-geared side.
That's why what they end up doing. The trucks are still H1.3, but the wheels are just pushed in. Now, did you buy that back in the day, or is that something you picked up
I
from?
bought it off Gene Milgram.
Okay.
Who bought it back in the day?
That was back when I was interested in SM too.
Yeah. Back from that, you got yourself a Class A Climax or whatever.
Well, you can have them, because I'm not paying
I'll
on.
gladly buy them off you. Plus, I need to give you some money for your motor income. I want to. Tell your work.
Dude, that was nothing. That was actually pretty easy. It took me about an hour. Actually, the calculations for it all took me longer.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll show you how I calculate it. It's very difficult to back the separation distance out of the formula. So basically, there's three parts to it. Basically, the change sequence look like this. There's a simple one, simple formula you can do. Basically uses just the diameter or the radius, but what I do is I wrote the tangency points. You basically calculate
And scale flanges, apparently.
this part of it right there. And calculating this, which is this one. And you're calculating this, which is this one. And what that does, that gives you the overall belt length for a given separation. Now, if you want to do exactly.
And this is probably what's on the website.
Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, the problem with what's on the website is he only uses half the belt pitch, and you have to use twice the belt pitch to do a proper belt. The thickness of the belt, which is basically the belt, the height of the belt. Because when you're figuring out, well, this applies more to the actual gear reduction or reduction, you